Everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I want to go ahead and do an eyeshadow palette collection and declutter. I did a declutter last year, several months ago. Got rid of a lot of stuff. I'm ready to get rid of more. I have some other palettes that I've accumulated since then, so I just want to go ahead and share those with you and then also share what I'm decluttering. So I think what I'm going to do is I will show you everything that I have, and then I don't really have a good way. I've done it before, but I just wasn't really pleased with the way it turned out of trying to turn the camera around and showing you just the palettes, because I don't really have a stand that will support my iPhone, facing downwards well enough, and it's awkward. So I think what I'll do is I will show you everything, and then I'll just put everything up on my desk in little piles, and then I will just hold them up and show them to you, and then say whether or not I'm keeping them or getting rid of them. So all right, I'll be right back. Okay guys, so this is what I'm starting out with. I've got some drugstore and some high-end. And then back there, those are all of my single shadows and everything that I've depotted, so I will show you those last. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put these into little piles on my desk and we'll get started. Okay, so I managed to fit everything on my desk except for my singles and my depotted shadows. So I'm just going to randomly, I have random piles here, there's no rhyme or reason, I'm just going to start grabbing palettes. I'm not going to swatch anything. I don't want this video to be too long. So let's go and get started. The first one I have is the Bare Minerals. This is the Aurora Lights. This one was from the 2018 holiday collection. I wanted this palette so much. I hemmed and hawed about it. I had it in my QVC cart. I almost bought it and then I didn't. And then I regretted not buying it. So I ended up finding it last year on Poshmark for I think $29 and I got it. I don't know. I'm a little let down by you guys. It's good. It's very, I don't want to say subtle, but maybe that's the right word, subtle. It's decent quality. It just doesn't blow me away. However, I did, want it so badly, and then I finally got a hold of it. So I'm kind of inclined to keep this for a little bit longer. I want to play with it a little bit more. I could see myself maybe getting rid of this in the future, but for now, I feel like I just haven't given it enough chance. I haven't given it a chance. Okay, the next one, this is Violet Voss Essentials. Got this in a BoxyCharm. I was going to declutter this one as well, but I think I'm going to keep it. I feel like I haven't used it enough. I haven't given it enough chance. I think I want to play with this a little bit longer. I can see myself maybe decluttering this in the future, but for now I'm going to go ahead and keep this one. So like I said, this isn't in any kind of order, so it might seem like I'm keeping a lot at first, but then I'll eventually get to things that I am decluttering. So this is the Hello Charmers. I got this one in my final Boxy Luxe. I've canceled BoxyCharm, so I won't be getting any more. I did Get Ready With Me. You haven't seen it yet because I have several Get Ready's With Me that are kind of like, haven't been uploaded yet. I don't know which of these videos you'll see first. Probably this. It's good. I ended up playing with a few of these shadows. I got a really interesting eye look. I haven't used it since then, but I do want to keep this because I do think it has good potential. I want to play with it a little bit more before I decide to get rid of it. Born to Run by Urban Decay. Definitely keeping this palette. I think this palette is a great palette. It's kind of an all-in-one palette. You've got a nice black, you've got beautiful mattes, you've got really nice everyday colors, and then a few pops of color. Really, really nice palette. Really good formula. Definitely, from what I've tried, the best Urban Decay palette that they've come out with. So love that one, keeping that one. My Dose of Colors Baked Browns. I'm definitely keeping this. I got this in a BoxyCharm. So good, you guys. I've been desperately trying to, not desperately, but I've been trying to get a hold of the Pretty Cool one. It has the cool tone mattes. I've been trying to get a hold of that one for a few months, but it's always sold out at Ulta. It's always sold out on Dose of Colors. I hope it's not being discontinued. If I can ever get a hold of that one, I will, because I think these are really good quality. I definitely really like these little mini Dose palettes. Okay, so this one is my Viseart Bridal Satin. I got this one from Ipsy as an add-on. These Viseart palettes, the bigger 12-pan palettes, are $80 palettes, but I got this through Ipsy as an add-on for $29, you guys. It's a steal for Viseart, and I've never tried their bigger 12-pan palettes. Really, really nice. I did Get Ready With Me using this one as well. This one you definitely haven't seen yet. Really, really nice. I'm definitely going to keep this one. Really nice satin shimmers. Really nice. How many times can I say really nice? Okay, then I have these little Huda mini obsessions. These are the only Huda shadows I have. I'm not interested in any of her bigger ones. I like her little 9-pan ones. I think they're nice. I have of the 2 that I have. So this one is the amethyst one. This one pulls a little more pink than I like. I would like it to be a little more purple, but it is really nice quality. I'm definitely going to keep this one, play with this one a little bit more. This one is the Smoky Obsession one. This one is really nice. Definitely keeping this one. This is just a nice everyday palette. You have some nice transitions. You have a nice black color. This is perfect for travel. I mean, I haven't traveled with it yet because I haven't traveled anywhere, but a really, really nice palette. Okay, so then I have the Brown Sugar by ColourPop. This one is a reconfigured one. When I did my declutter last year, I depotted all of my ColourPops and I rearranged them and got rid of ones that I didn't want. So this one is a rearranged one. I really like this one. It's good quality. It's not the best quality. I don't love ColourPop, but I like ColourPop. It's one of those brands where I enjoy it. I don't love it. I don't think I'll really be buying any more ColourPop in the future, but I will enjoy what I have, including this one. So I'm going to keep that one. And then this one is the Fame palette. Again, this isn't the original Fame. It's been reconfigured. I'm going to go ahead and keep this one. I like this one. I like all the colors in here. It's got some nice taupe, some nice cool tones. Good quality, so I'm going to keep that one. Let's see. This is the Iconic London. I got this in a BoxyCharm. I used it in a Get Ready With Me. I wasn't blown away by it. This one down here is just very lackluster. Looks like it's already got hard pan in it. In fact, I think it had hard pan in the beginning to start with, and that might be why I couldn't really get good color payoff on it. The mattes are decent. I've used this in that Get Ready With Me, and I haven't really used it since. Haven't really been inclined to use it, but I feel like I should keep it and at least use it once or twice, 1 or 2 more times before I fully decide to either keep it or get rid of it. But I'm not overly excited to have this. I am going to keep it for now, but I will probably declutter that in the near future. Okay, this is the Revolution Foiled Shadows. I'm definitely getting rid of these. I used these in Get Ready With Me last summer, and it just was so lackluster. This did hardly anything. These shades I'm not even drawn to. They're just too dark, and it's just, I don't know. Revolution is very hit or miss with me. I've tried some of their stuff and I've decluttered their stuff. Again, I'm going to declutter this. It's just a formula that I don't love. So I came to this conclusion this decision that I'm going to stop buying formulas, eyeshadow formulas that I know I just tend to dislike more than like ColourPop. ColourPop, I like some of their stuff. Some of their stuff I don't like. A lot of their stuff ends up being the same over and over and over. So I'm not going to be purchasing ColourPop going forward. I really don't think I'm going to be purchasing Revolution shadows. I like their face products, but their shadows, everything that I've gotten so far, I've decluttered. A couple other brands, a lot of it tends to be drugstore. It's not that I don't like drugstore, it's just that a lot of the stuff that I tend to not like happens to be drugstore brands for eyeshadows. So going forward, I'm just not really going to be purchasing the formulas that I know I don't like. And then this is Ace Beauté. This one I got in a BoxyCharm. This one is good quality. I think the shimmers are pretty nice. The mattes are nice. It's just a color story that I'm not going to reach for over and over. I'm not really into these reds. These darker pinks, I don't love pink, but if I do like pink, I like it to be a little more soft and muted pink, like what I have on my eyes today. So even though I've only used this once or twice, I'm going to get rid of it. Okay, and then my Colored Rain. I have a few Colored Rain palettes, keeping all of them. This one is Safari Rain. Beautiful, beautiful formula. Colored Rain has a really nice formula. I just have the 3, but I like them all. These metallic shimmers, they're just amazing. So keeping that. And then Cheers to the Beauty. Really, really beautiful. These metallics are just beautiful. They're so, so pretty. Really, really nice mattes. Huge bulky packaging. And then the Colored Rain Queen of Hearts, same thing. Beautiful, beautiful, nice neutral palette. You got a little bit of warm going on, but you have these beautiful mattes. Big packaging. I'm contemplating depotting these 3 and putting them into one palette. The problem is that my Z palettes, or you know, the off brands, they hold 30 shadows, and I've counted between these shadows and then also this bigger highlighter, they wouldn't all fit into one palette. So I have big palettes that I could put them into, but I'm debating whether or not I should depot them if I might regret it. I'm kind of inclined to do it, but I haven't decided yet. But definitely going to keep all 3 of those. I think they're beautiful. Okay, the Tartelette in Bloom. This was the first real eyeshadow palette I ever bought. I've only been wearing eyeshadow for a few years. I mean, I've worn them in the past, but it was always just like little trio, like CoverGirl trio that I would occasionally use, but not really. I didn't really start wearing eyeshadow till a few years ago, and this was the first palette I ever bought. So I'm definitely gonna keep this. I think it's really nice. It's one of the few Tarte products that I've kept over the years and that I really enjoy. Again, Tarte is another brand that is hit or miss with me. This one, and I have 2 other ones that I've kept that I'm keeping. Everything else that I've gotten from Tarte, I've pretty much decluttered. All their little mini ones, I've decluttered. I just think they're kind of boring and uninspiring. But the Tartelette in Bloom, I love, I'm keeping. Okay, this one is my Lorac Pro. This is the 4th one. This is actually a mishmash of the 4th one and the 2nd one. I depotted them both, kept the colors that I wanted from both of them, and then put them into this palette. I'm gonna keep this a little bit longer. It's not my favorite formula. I know a lot of people really love Lorac, but I don't. I like it. I don't love it. Again, this is another brand going forward that I really won't be purchasing from because I know I just don't love them, but I like them. So I'm gonna keep that one. This is a Bad Habit Pretty Poison. This one is, again, a mishmash of all the bad habits that I depotted because they're magnetic. They depot really easily. And then I put them all into one palette. So this is my purple palette. You know, a few other pops of colors that aren't purple, but this is my purple palette. Really, really like it. I think the quality is really good. So I'm definitely going to keep this one. Okay, let's see. I haven't decluttered a lot, but you know, there's more to go through, you guys. This Revolution, this one I got for free from the Revolution website last year. It was buy 3 get 1 free, and so I chose this palette. I don't have anything like this. This is a Halloween palette, Give Them Darkness. I did wear this past Halloween, got a nice smoky eye. I don't really see myself using this outside of Halloween, but I don't really have any other shadows that are like dark and vampy like this, so I do want to hold on to this palette. Quality's pretty good. For Revolution, this one is a pretty decent formula, so I'm going to keep that one. This one, oh, this isn't an eyeshadow palette. No, this is a face palette. I thought I showed this in my beauty declutter. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I decided last minute to get rid of this. Anyways, so last year when I bought from Revolution, I bought 2 of these face palettes, 2 different ones, and then I bought something else, and then I got this for free. So these face palettes, I don't know why it's in with my shadows, but whatever. These face palettes are supposed to be a dupe for the Hourglass finishing powders. I think they're very comparable. However, when you blend them out onto the skin, they all kind of end up looking the same. So I have, okay. So when I did do my beauty declutter, I showed you one that I was decluttering, and this is the one that I'm keeping. So I was saying in that video and also in this video that they kind of blend out, they look the same. So I really didn't need 2 of these palettes, and this is one that I'm keeping. That's weird that it's in with my shadows, but anyways, I'm gonna keep that one. Okay, let's see. Bring this little stack here. I think there's a lot of declutters in this stack. Okay, so this one is the Rimmel Spice Edition, the Magnify Eyes. This one I'm going to keep. This one I really like. I think the quality is good. It's got enough mattes in here to keep me happy, and then it has some nice darker shades that I usually would just do on the bottom lash line. Don't really like it on the lid. Really, really nice quality. I like this one, so I'm going to keep this one. The purple one, I'm going to get rid of. This one, the quality I don't think is as good. I really struggle with coming up with looks for this. There's just not enough matte shades. I think these colors up here are so, so pretty, but they're just very lackluster on the eyes. This one seems to fade away and is not as, like the color payoff is not as good as the Spice one. So I'm going to get rid of the purple one, but keep the Spice one. These Transformers from Smashbox, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of these. I've held on to this for a long time. This came in a trio: face products, eye transformers, and then a lip palette. I got rid of the lip palette immediately because I don't use, lip products. The cheek palette, I'm gonna hold on to a little bit longer. I do like these blushes. I like these bronzers. I don't use that for anything. I don't use matte highlighters, and I don't really use banana shades like that. It's too dark. But I do like the rest. I'm gonna keep those. But this one, I'm gonna get rid of, you guys. I've held on to it thinking, oh, it's really good for travel. I can bring this one, and it's got my bronzer, it's got my blushes, and I could bring just this. And then between these two, I could have, for my eyes, and then this could be my highlighter, and these could go on my eyes, and I have all these plans. But this is just really lackluster, and I've only ever traveled with these once, and I wasn't really overly impressed. So I'm gonna go ahead and finally get rid of the Transformers. I'm gonna keep the face palette, and I'm also gonna go ahead and get rid of this Dominique Cosmetics Sweater Weather palette. I just got this in my Ipsy. It's nice, you guys. Pretty colors. I like that one. I like that one, and I like that color. These three colors, I don't really find myself really wanting to use. That's not my shade of purple. The pinks are okay. But overall, this palette is very soft and muted. It's cute, it's compact. I've only used it once. I feel like I should give it some more, another chance. But I just don't think I'll be reaching for this, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it now. My Sultry palette, I love this palette. Definitely keeping this by ABH. Beautiful, beautiful. I love this palette, along with the Jackie Aina palette. These two palettes, I think, are the best ABH palettes. They're honestly, of all her palettes, these are the only two color stories that I've ever been drawn to. So I'm going to keep those. I'm going to keep my Too Faced Natural Lust palette. I think this is a beautiful palette. It's a very soft, muted palette, but it's very nice. I think it's really nice for spring. It's really nice for nice, subtle looks. It's got a lot of cool tones in here. It's got a couple pops of warm. Overall, I think this is just a really nice, natural palette. So I'm going to keep that one. This one is my Violet Voss. This is a combination of Like a Boss and then the Holy Grail. Last year when I decluttered the Holy Grail, I didn't talk about this in the video, but off camera, I decided to depot. There are several shades in the Holy Grail that I liked and several shades in here that I didn't love. So I ended up getting rid of depotting the shades in here that I didn't love, depotting the shades in the Holy Grail that I did love, and swapped them around. So now this is a combination of both palettes. I really, really like it. I like the formula. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that. My Holy Grail Like a Boss palette. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this Storybook, Fairy Tale Storybook Cosmetics. I got this in a Boxy Charm, Boxy Luxe, whatever. I think it's nice. I think it's pretty to look at. The colors, the formula is decent. I wasn't blown away when I used it. A lot of blues in here that I don't really gravitate towards. And I'm not really inclined to keep this big bulky palette just for, the few shades that I think I would like to use. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this. It's really nice. It's pretty. It's good quality. Someone else will enjoy that more than me. Okay, so let's see. I've got my Too Faced Tickled Peach. This is so cute. Really like this palette. I'm definitely going to keep that. Really pretty. My Just Peachy Mattes. I'm going to keep this one. Some nice peachy warm shades. I gravitate more towards these types of warm colors as opposed to like the reds and things like that. So I prefer more like peachy oranges. It does have a couple, reds in there. The Modern Renaissance, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this, you guys. I've never loved this palette. I've never understood the hype. The quality, I think, is just mediocre. I think this has changed over the years, and the quality is even worse than it was before. There's two shades in here that I really wanted, was Bon Fresco and I think was Warm Taupe. So I depotted those two. I practiced on two other shades first to see how easily they depotted, and they depotted very easily. So then I ended up depotting the two colors that I wanted. The other two are, you'll see them in the singles. I stuck them in the single palette. But I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. I've never loved it, never understood the hype. I'm definitely not going to miss that. Okay, and then I have my Gingerbread palette. I'm going to definitely keep this one. It's similar to the Spice Edition, and I contemplated getting rid of the Spice palette because they are similar, but it does have different colors in here. It's got some of these like purpley tones in there, and I do want to have a little bit of variety. I mean, I don't really see myself wanting to travel with this, but if I ever did, you know, I could travel with this. I don't like to travel with expensive makeup, so I'm gonna keep them both. I really like this. I think it's pretty. The quality's really nice. Okay, so my Young, Wild, and Cruelty Free by Tarte. This is another one that I really enjoy. I'm gonna keep this one. Really nice color story, really nice quality, pretty, kind of like a soft, neutral type palette. There's nothing overly intense in here. It's just a nice, not necessarily neutral because you do have all these pops of colors, but really nice palette, nice quality. It's very different than their typical boring brown palette. Okay, and this is the It's My Pleasure. This one is a rearranged one. Last year when I did my declutter, all my ColourPop singles, I depotted them all, I rearranged them, I put them into color story that I would like more. I don't really find myself reaching for this, you guys. I think I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this one. I am keeping the, where is it? I am keeping the Bad Habit purple palette. Again, this isn't just the pure poison, it's a pretty poison. This is, you know, a mix match of all the other Bad Habits. But of these two, they're very similar, a lot of similar tones, and I think I prefer this one over the ColourPop. So I'm going to keep the Bad Habit one, and I'm going to get rid of this ColourPop one. Yeah, I might take these shadows out and keep this case in case I want to use this for travel or something, or, you know, whatever, because it does fit them nicely. So I think I will do that. I'll probably keep the case. I might not, but we'll see. So I'm going to get rid of that. Tartelette Toasted. This is the third Tarte palette that I've kept that I think I'm going to keep. I don't use this a lot. I don't always gravitate towards these warm type colors, but it is nice. The quality is really nice, and I do want to hold on to this one. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that one. Oh, my voice, you guys, is starting to go. Okay, this is a BH palette, Love in London. I think this one's really nice. The quality's really good. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that one. BH is hit or miss with me. I have tried some of their other formulas in the past and didn't really love them, decluttered them. This one I think is nice. I'm going to keep this one. Same with these two Zodiac palettes. I have the original. I think this is really nice. The quality is really nice. I love all the colors in the matte. And these baked shimmers are really, really beautiful, really nice and intense. I really, really like them. So I'm going to keep this one. I'm more inclined to declutter the Love Signs one. I don't like the color story as much. I do really enjoy these colors right here and that brown. But like those and that pink, I don't really love. And the baked ones, I don't love as much as in the Zodiac because of the colors. Like, I'm not really drawn to that bright fuchsia type color. I'm not really drawn to these teal type colors. I was contemplating at one point depotting these both and putting them into one palette, but I know from the past, because I've depotted one of their palettes before, that they're not magnetic, and I would have to put stickers on them to put them into a magnetic palette. And then how am I going to put, you know, I can't find stickers that shape, and it's just, I think would be more trouble than it's worth. So for now, I'm going to keep this one. I can see myself probably decluttering it in the future, but for now, I'm going to go ahead and keep it. Okay, the Magic Mini by Juvia's, I'm decluttering this. I will not be purchasing Juvia's anymore. I've gotten two of them. They're, I forget what it was called, but the brown one, the brown mini one, I ended up getting rid of. I tried depotting it and keeping the more neutral browns, and then they crumbled and fell apart. Juvia's, the mattes do not depot well. I tried to depot this. I did keep a couple of the metallics. Couple of them I tried to depot some of the mattes because I wanted to keep all the mattes, and they just crumbled. They don't depot at all. So I think I ended up keeping 2, maybe 3 metallics that are in my single palette, and then the rest I'm just not really drawn to, or I have duplicates. I have this purple shade 10 times over in my single palette, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of this, and then I really won't be purchasing from Juvia's Place anymore. Celestial Thunder, got this in a BoxyCharm. I used it a couple times. I just didn't love most of the colors in here. There were 3 colors that I really did enjoy. So I practiced depotting one of them. Depotted pretty easy. I think these ones popped right out. So I depotted the 3 that I like, and I have them in singles palette. So I'm going to declutter the rest. Okay, and then I have the Too Faced Life's a Festival. I've already depotted a few that I wanted. I practiced with some other ones. Then I depotted the few that I want to keep. I kept the highlighter, which I might end up depotting at some point, decluttering at some point. But just a lot of these shades I wasn't using. I don't really love the, I mean, it's cute, but you know, I'm not really into like the cutesy packaging. It's kind of a weird shape. And I just wasn't gravitating towards these other colors. It was more wasted space. So I took out the few that I wanted and I put them in with my singles. Okay, so there's that. And then just a couple more palettes and then we'll get into my singles. Okay, so these ones, I know I said that I was consciously not going to be buying a lot of drugstore eyeshadows because I tend to just end up decluttering them all. But I was really intrigued by these e.l.f.s, these little new quads that they have, and they have so many good reviews. They're only $3, so I did end up picking up 3. These were the only 3 that I was interested in, and these were the only 3 that I could find in my stores anyways. So this one is the Rose Water one. Really, really nice. I do really like the quality on these e.l.f.s. I had an e.l.f. palette before that I did not like, and I decluttered it. I just did not love it. e.l.f. is another brand that's hit or miss with me. Some of their stuff I really enjoy. A lot of their stuff I've decluttered. So e.l.f. is another brand that, even though it's inexpensive, I'm not going to be spending a lot of money on e.l.f. But I was, like I said, really intrigued by these shadows. This one is the Cream and Sugar. Really, really nice. And then this one is Truffles. So these 3, the quality is really nice, you guys. You can just throw in one of these mattes into the crease, put one of these little shimmers on the eyelid. You're good to go if you just want to do something really quick. You don't want to fuss around with big palettes and having to decide what to use. You can just grab one of these. They're really nice. They're compact, good for travel. Really, really nice. So I am happy with these. Okay, so that's all the palettes. I'm going to go ahead and stop the video, and I'm going to get out all my singles and all my depotted palettes, and I'll show you guys. I'm back. So while I was rearranging all the palettes I'm keeping and getting rid of, I decided I'm going to go ahead and declutter this Iconic London. I don't know, I wasn't overly impressed with it. It's good quality, but I just don't think I'm really going to reach for this over any of my other palettes. So I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of this now. So this is going to be decluttered. Okay, so now I have all my singles and depotted. So some of you might be wondering, when I was showing you my palettes, where are all my Viseart palettes? Where are all of my Jeffree Star palettes? I depotted all of my palettes, all of my Viseart palettes. The Viseart palettes are magnetic, they pop right out. But I depotted them, I'll put them into 1Z palette. I'm going to show you that in a second. And I depotted all of my Jeffree Star palettes, you guys. I was terrified to do it at first. I went back and forth on whether or not it was going to be a mistake. You know, the packaging is beautiful. I was afraid of damaging. But I practiced with his Beauty Killer palette first. I practiced depotting his Beauty Killer palette first because that was one that I was like, that was my least favorite one. And they depotted very easily, so I ended up depotting everything. And I'm so thrilled with the end results. So this is my Viseart palette. This one, you guys, I love having all of my Viseart shadows in one place. I love it. This one up here, it's in 4x4. So this one right here, that one is the Paris Edit. This one is the Rose Edit, and this one is the Dark Edit. This one is the purple, the bigger Theory palettes. That's the purple one. This one is the, what is it called? I forget what this one's called. This one is the Chroma one, I want to say. I think so. And then this one is the green palette. 2 of them from the green palette didn't fit. Well, I chose to remove 2 from the green palette because one of them was basically the same shade as that, just a smidge, either lighter or darker, I can't remember. I really didn't need 2 cream colored shadows because I don't really use them that much anyways. So that one I took out, and then the second green one was actually this exact shade. So they're little edit ones. Some of them are small versions of colors that are in some of their other palettes. And when I was looking at the green one in here, I thought, wow, that's really similar to that one. And I swatched them, they're the exact same. And then I went on the website and looked it up, and this little green one is called Absinthe, which the name of this palette is Abstinence. So that green was the same green that was in this palette. So 2 of them didn't fit in here. They're 2 that were basically duplicates that I didn't need anyways. I love this. If I end up getting more Viseart palettes, I'm gonna have to get a bigger palette for this, but for now I love them. Love, love, love my Viseart palette. Definitely keeping that. It's not going anywhere. Okay, and then this is my Jeffree Star palette. So look at this, you guys. This is so beautiful. This is my Adept palette. I have 3 of these. They're double-sided. They have this nice partition in the middle. I love this palette, you guys. So I rearranged it by color story. I didn't keep it in palette order. I just rearranged it by color stories. So I've got, look at all these neutrals, you guys. Between all of his palettes, each palette has, you know, neutrals thrown in here and there. And when you depot them and put them all together, he's got a lot of neutrals, you guys. So this is a combination of the Beauty Killer. I only kept 4. The rest of them, the Beauty Killer was not my favorite palette. It was his very first palette. The quality was just not as good. Plus they're big and bulky and the quality just wasn't as good. So I ended up keeping these 4. And then this is a mishmash of my Alien palette, my Blood Sugar palette, the Thirsty palette. I was trying to think of what the Thirsty palette was called. The Thirsty palette, and then my Conspiracy palette, my Mini Controversy palette, and then the Mini Jawbreaker. And they all fit perfectly in here. Again, if I end up getting any more Jeffree Star palettes, I will have to have another palette. I'll have to make another palette. But I'm so thrilled with this, you guys. I love it. I love having all his stuff in one place. I'm using his palettes more. I'm using my Visearts more, having everything in one place. Okay, and then this one is my singles. So I rearranged all my singles. I had a lot more single palettes, like little mini Z palettes, like a purple one. I rearranged those. I got rid of decluttered things, rearranged this, and fit them all into one. Love this. Beautiful. This is a collection of, some of them are Coastal Scents. A lot of them are my Luxie shadows, my Divina Cosmetic shadows, Sydney Grace. Coastal Scents, a lot of these were Coastal Scents, and a lot of the shimmers are Coastal Scents. Really good quality. The mattes are hit or miss. They're decent. They're definitely not as good as like my Luxie or Divina Cosmetics. A lot of these purples are Coastal Scent. A lot of them are like Divina and some Color Pops, but a lot of them are also Coastal Scents, and I will eventually declutter more of the Coastal Scents as I find the indie shadows that are, you know, correlated with them. So keeping this, love that. Okay, these ones are all single shadows that I'm getting rid of. There's a lot more that I ended up just throwing away. A lot of them shattered when I was getting rid of them. A lot of them crumbled. A lot of them I didn't have enough room in the palettes to even show them to you guys, so I ended up having to just throw them out right away. So these are all things that I'm decluttering, duplicates, things that I just wasn't using. I'm getting rid of that. This one is a couple of these I'm keeping, a lot of them I'm getting rid of. I have to find a way to store some of the ones that I still want to keep. These are the Dose of Color ones that I depot that I want to keep. I'm definitely going to try to keep these too. I want to fit these into a palette somehow. I'm okay if I get rid of that one, but I want to keep it for now. A lot of these I'm getting rid of. A couple of these up here I want to keep, but I just don't have room in my palettes. I might find room in the future, or I might just get rid of them. These I'm probably going to get rid of. This one I'm going to keep. That's from that Too Faced palette. And then a lot of these I'm just going to be getting rid of. These are duplicates from the Jeffree Star. He always says like bone colored ones or banana type colors, and I don't need those. So most of these I'm getting rid of. A couple of them I will in the future try to find a way to squeeze them into a palette. Okay, this one is my green palette that I kept. I couldn't figure out a way to put everything into one of the big palettes. So this one is my green palette. This one is a mishmash of Sydney Grace, some Coastal Scents, not Coastal Scents, Color Pop, but mostly Sydney Grace, a few Color Pop, and then I think there might be 1 or 2 Coastal Scents. And then this is another one from the Dose of Color one that I want to keep. I thought it would fit nicely into my green palette. So really, really love that one. I'm going to keep that one. This one is my neutral palette. Really, really nice. This is just a mishmash of different depot palettes. Some are singles. These are like Tarte palettes that depotted. These are Kat Von D shadows that I depotted at one point. Kat Von D And then these are just a mix of different indie shadows. So I'm going to keep that. It's nice to just be able to grab a neutral palette. And then these are my specialty shadows. So these are my JD Glow ones. These are the Cleonida Cosmetics ones, the stained glass shadows that finally came in. It took 2 months for me to get these shadows from the time I ordered them to the time I got them. They're beautiful. I'm not going to show them in depth because I plan on doing some kind of video with them. And then these ones are 2 from the Too Faced that I depotted. Okay guys, so that is all my shadows. I'm gonna go ahead and rearrange everything onto the bed again and then show you what I'm keeping and what I'm getting rid of. And then at the end, I'll try to put like a tally on the screen of what I kept and what I got rid of. All right, you guys, so this is what I'm keeping. And this is what I'm getting rid of. Might not look like a lot, but my goal was not to just get rid of a ton of palettes. It was just to get rid of what I don't use, what I don't love. These palettes, obviously, I will just get rid of the singles and then I will keep the palettes. I might use this bigger palette, this Adept palette, possibly depot all of my colored rains and put them into there. I haven't decided because these palettes get, really heavy when you have them full. So I haven't decided if I want to do that or if I want to just keep them whole. Leave suggestions down below. Let me know if you think I should depot my colored rain. But anyways, you guys, that was my collection and declutter. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.